housing company wo mo chese nkwafo do maka o no mo ba besim ajeju am sika
NPP amanyoko no adap committee so na de so mo abatudwa say campaign message ahodo a eru anum o mo pe frankrakwa ni bre no mo nkrofo na mo kenyo mbeta o maso na tie ubi a obeka asem bi ade atwitwu yonko no o mefro committee no enem
and some way afoforo bi ka ho anwumere no nkonwa ne yesi a ebetu se ne nyina mo ade asom yi asomfa wo tie nka anwumere ye me mrantie nua ba ma me efum wa kafena mene
Ajwa nyako abronoma
Trakwan ye gina so aba
Sikka FM Trakwan ye ne akro
Sikka FM 89.5 Yes Suma Santimai Sikka FM 89.5 Yes Suma Santimai
Yes Suma Santimai Ghana ma ye wiase nyina ka ho afei ye wura ensem ne mo ankasa Ghana Mampani John Dramani Mahama ede atudwasa Accra initiative dwumadi a wo ba konwa so yi wode aba na edi Accra initiative na da so de ne so ehyehyeye ani dwumadi a aman hodo bi ye o my Ghana eka ho ye bibiman wo mo nyina bako mo ho abomu na wo matumi akon atie atutrasem a eye so de ewa aman ni nyina so anasa atutrafo a eye a wo mkwakyire gu aman bi so na wo man no omkodi wonum awu o chese wo Ghana Benin ka ho Burkina Faso Cote d'Ivoire na fei anka Mali Niger eni Togo Wamu nyina ka ho bi na chese sa Accra initiative ya manya abibiman omuti ase no sanke nyina ye beka ye ho abom na ye nyina da ye bofu pam yi yetumi aboabo ye ho ama yetumi ayeyire ye bambom ne ya hyeso se de be ya atutrofomfo mani nkyire ha emma medi awuo Mampani John Dramani Mahama se wo yetirimu pa eta Accra initiative na chi nanso amai miensa bi di haja wo mate wo ho Niger Mali na afa Burkina Faso de wo mo de o se watwe wo mo a gusu no mo kasa de ne nso tenten ni twintwan kakra ya bo wo mafa sanso wo mo do wo miensa to mo ho mo di wo nkuya wo mpese wa munu obia bedi kaso bia wase aman miensa ebo omo bra se omo nko aso mo hu so beso omo akwankro bi sei entu omo hia obia moa ana matemi hu ko no omo adwon enti Mampani John Dramani Mahama se wonu omo kasa saa enche bia kro ehu sa wone Ibrahim Traore twa picture ohu okọ ne ho ni nyina hu komodie no ne kokodi ye so seria won mo maye de na ni nyina mu no ompa abase nkomodie no obekoso no omodi o chese wonu ombedia kopem bra obia de ti eba be hye sa Accra initiative yase sense wiase ma ba ne bambo ho asampa de a wonko ahu so ntumi nso akwankro de a ayesie nyina ya pampam som na yetimi aboabo ye ho Mampani John Dramani Mahama Adin Sami atudwa ika ka cho se jama Mampani awo hanum se ya wa ba ba sro mayo ne ya Mampani ebon komo bebre enti oni jama Mampani hia ye no ensem bia wode ne kan ye eno no Ghana Mampani John Dramani Mahama.
Ladies and gentlemen, on regional and international topics, President Steinmeier and I had open and constructive discussions on peace and security in West Africa, particularly regarding the growing threats of terrorism, violent extremism, and political instability in the Sahel region. I briefed the President on Ghana's proactive diplomatic engagement to foster dialogue and rebuild trust and strengthen cooperation amongst our neighbors, including my recent appointment of a special envoy to the Alliance of Sahelian States to promote regional stability, cohesion, and integration. I wish to commend Germany's steadfast and principled support for regional peace and development in our sub-region. We also reviewed our strong cooperation in international peacekeeping. Ghana sincerely appreciates Germany's leadership in hosting the 2025 United Nations Peacekeeping Ministerial in Berlin, which promoted key reforms in global peacekeeping operations. Ghana, which had the honor of hosting the 2023 edition in Accra, looks forward to further collaboration to build institutional capacities, conduct joint training exercises, and leverage technology and innovation to address the emerging threats, including cyber insecurity and climate-related conflicts. Ghana is deeply concerned about recent actions that jeopardize the rule-based international order, especially the global trade system that has supported decades of prosperity and development around the world. The dismantling of established multilateral frameworks and the rise of unilateral protectionism, threaten to plunge the world into economic instability, greater inequality and conflict. I invite Germany to share Ghana's strong commitment to multilateralism, the United Nations system, the World Trade Organization, and international law. We urge all nations to resist the lure of economic nationalism and to collaborate in reforming, not dismantling, the institutions that unite us as a globe. The challenges of our era, climate change, pandemics, terrorism, migration, and poverty, cannot be tackled by any one nation alone. They require our collective action, dialogue, and compromises. Regarding Africa's representation in global governance, Ghana continues its long-standing and legitimate demand for Africa's permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council.
Ghana Mampari John Dramani Mahama Esanso Ekasafa Ghana Eni Jamai Ayonkofa Sonkoya Edo Mai Entemochese Nyenasem Efitete Enas Ayonkofa Ada Honma Besi Enne.
Our relationship spans several centuries, and since the formal establishment of diplomatic relations in 1957, year of Ghana's independence, it has grown steadily and significantly. Germany has remained a steadfast and reliable partner supporting Ghana's development through technical and financial cooperation in key sectors such as health, education, vocational and technical training, renewable energy, good governance, and peacekeeping. These interventions have contributed immensely to our institutional development, youth empowerment, and sustainable growth. During our extensive bilateral discussions this morning, President Steinmeier and I reviewed the current state of Ghana-Germany relations with great satisfaction, and we identified new and expanded pathways for our collaboration. We reaffirmed the strong bonds of friendship between our two countries, and these bonds are rooted in mutual respect, shared democratic values, human rights, the rule of law, and a common vision for peace, prosperity, and sustainable development. I briefed President Steinmeier thoroughly on Ghana's current economic situation and our Resetting Ghana agenda, which aims to restore macroeconomic stability, foster inclusive and sustainable growth, and tackle corruption, improve public financial management, and rebuild investor confidence in our economy. And I'm pleased to report that we're making tangible progress on this agenda, and the early signs are promising. I reaffirmed Ghana's strong dedication to creating an enabling environment to attract more German private sector investment, particularly within the framework of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is headquartered here in Accra.
And yet, Ghana Mampani John Dramani Mahama.
Honorable Harry Idrison so and I asked for Shangumasion Sam so Yamayimo. Now one also and a day cocobo a de masua pon aho draw titru dear ankran crediano so munya sell or mopeso or moji sukufi se chaminabo ede a free addition form ho enunti or catch Ghana Tertiary Education Commission GTEC so among catch public universities no sell munya so moakasado mope to school fees boom. Na ni nyina ne se ngubasi so for chess se watiti bi se public universities di bi wo ho a wo mo akwada sore ya no o maba o mo seyan ye beto school fees nim ye de say na to so no mo agina mo tumi so atumu ani kwasa sa na ye o se aban ne pese school ni bia anasa baburu bia timi kosua ponwie na wo mbre school fees hunti e na aban no e de no fees stress policy ede eba ya eja obia obekota share na so apon bia first year na de o jua school fees bia eye free no na na dai na ngomasuya so for honorable Haruna Idrisu ekopie public accounts committee anim ho na wo dey say we etujwa.
Believe me, my most impactful lunch as minister was when the no fee stress was launched. I had good sleep that this was an impactful, meaningful social intervention of the president. And many of you sitting here, colleague MPs, you know how much you spend in paying school fees when the period comes. You get demands. So, but just to send a caution, Chairman, the Director General of GTEC is here. I've seen some schools increasing their fees because government says it's absorbing them. We won't accept it. So make sure you issue consequential instructions to your schools not to take advantage of that.
Honorable Haruna Idrisu osi aban no pesa adesuafo kom ha wo mo enti na wode sa policy aba enti aban school suapo no panyifo nhwe na wo ma amfa school fees atwamene bo engu adesuafo so
yanto akasebo ne soe na ye ni efi asem na wotwetwe mo no yesane asiane akwa na wotwe na wie ya wada ndi tiso China City Mall, yes, is fantastic. Star Junction, jet them and your whole voices, new videos, near the did dear. Your social media, and so teacher party Facebook, Sikka FM 895 Live, and yeah, now so. I'm a funny be cry, no more by any Sonia dear. Bakukra, much on truffle set. What is that, dear be here? Wakachira nini yanmo no mo ya adwuma o China City ni mo che so da sa o de sa na atie o de bi ati bibi sa na mpani ampa de na ehe and ha se China mo na chia wi ase na agi ba bi atren ya emuni emanyina ya de grabu kan sema ahe grabu oh efiada no se mi ko school metwen me kon na wala tu wala sa bi na sisi wo sa miensa papa ene so memen dare du ina jese ya dwene nyina na no na kumase mpanifo a wo harum ke mpanifo e kire se wo ma twere so asesa nkantagata condemn na egusu ni nyina wo ma sesa ni nyina ade afiri so na nya so ma sesa afiri so enti na asase wura no mo anase nipa ko a China for dwuma kokura se group o se nipa ba ko no a China mo ne ya no ya dwu so awieti no o san abesi foforo ya no asesa na de abesi wo lomi no na de abesi so ba abesi foforo de bi nya sa no mo ye no di sentia mo no ahye ya anka pimpo no fire for ye hwehwemu ewom saa hwehwemu na be kire ekwa nimo no sa wo mo sansi mo ni biemu a saa hwehwemu ni so no mo bagina edesi nyeso ofiti ya ade na nya bawe ya bendan business dia saa na tie to da bia beboka so take risk aba eno nkire se enso afia banti ya num so biam tie ya ba besi dabi omo makwa no mo san besi ni saa omo edit fire for hwehwemu no beto akwam na fei womo akwa asase so akwa ade niema tutu yi ade niema sisi na akwam ansa no ombesi mo ni bi mo sisi de ba ya saa to ye nchem kase ate sei ebi ansan so ensibiem Kumasi Metro Coordinator at the National Disaster Management Organization Ora Godwin Dela on a din semi to just say ehwehwemu mapa ebekoso omo de niema be sisi da kwamo ansa na mo no ombasa sibiem a omasi.
We take a critical look at the land, look at the surroundings, and see whether it is a place that you can actually put on any structure or any type of the structure. So that is what we are going to do. But first, we need to make sure they clear the land before any other thing will go on. We also have in mind that in case they will have to rebuild, which we don't know now, if they will have to rebuild, we need to make sure a lot of critical actions are taken in terms of the kind of structures that they have to do, materials that have to be used, how it should be, how the surroundings should be, in terms of the fire protective and other disaster measures that they have to take before you put out the structure. And even after, we need to make sure all that is considered.
Yo, enti way Kumasi Metro Coordinator Edman National Disaster Management Organization Admofo Ora Godwin Dela Edeno Omo de ma besis na kwam ansa no masine foforo.
Yako aban Eraba wono wo Obuase West Asante Mantamu ha Honorable Fostila Vapia Kainin ono nakache na yedru na okone mpesua ne so ene odi aso akobọ form ama project mako wotwe ene wo ba beye wo schools ahodo a ewo ne mpatamu ho na wo kire se Presbyterian School KG block bi ewo ho wo mo KG block no ase kura eno camp projects no wo ba be siesie ne ho ena for mo sanso ehia toilet facility ni nyina obeye afi new esutan so omo hia pavement blocks ena afi so krom ahodo bi wo ho a omo nyina so ehia ensuo de obetu nsuo de more na wɔkyerɛ sɛ abosome mmiɛnsa ntam ɛna wɔde asi n'ani so a saa projects wɔtwe ɔbɛyɛ ne nyinaa ɛwɔ mpatam wɔ sɛ sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a ne temamufoɔ anaasɛ ne manfoɔ abrabɔ mbɛdwo ɔmo na afei adekyerɛ ne adesua ho nsɛm so akɔ nkan enti na agya aban no resetting agenda na ɔde ne ho agye mu a ɔno nso ɛyɛ bi honorable apia Keynes yɛntie no
project yɛka te yɛaso abɔ fam ama yɛtumi ayɛ 8 projects yɛakɔ Presby school yɛkɔ akɔma ɔmo a canteen facility na yɛasa ama ɔmo baabi agyanan bia na yɛasa ama ɔmo school no yɛasa ayɛ no foforɔ koraa obonyo bɛka sɛ facelifting ɛfiri hɔ no yɛkɔ bidiem experimental school ɛhɔ nso no school hɔ no baby and kola beja o nan baby a omo besiesie omo ho ye ni bi o ho nti ye koye omo cage no ene baby and kola ye omo betimi akwa omo enan anaso omo ho be ha omo be kwa kosiesie omo ye free ho no so ye san person call anona so ye call omo school no asaya tete apansam internet no so no e kwa akoye bia akoto aso ne asiesie school no kra na ya sama omo so baby asebio omo beja omo ehu heha omo be kwa akosiesie omo say ye oboni be ka say toilet ya san so ko community no ko tunsuo e de ema wo mu ye free ho na ansan so ho a ye san ba baby bia bia efro okulem ɛhɔ so yɛkɔpɔ ma a wɔn nsuo ne nyinaa kan reset an agenda wɔyɛ free hɔ na yɛsan ba railways yɛsan bɛ ma a wɔn nso nsuo yɛsan kɔ ne nsuta nso ɛkɔkɔ ma a wɔn pavement block a yɛ pradeɛ ne bɛtumi afa hɔ ɛtumi de aba station mmerɛ wa wɔn sɛ nsuo tɔ a wɔn tete nhwehwɛ nti so far ne nyinaa ka bɔ mu a reset an agenda no ma mpanyini sika a wɔde baayɛ no we yetimi dia ye bi aka other project anyankopon ya aduma next week ntonso be kwa akokate sword no enti so far so good then there yetimi akate 8 good projects a ye dia so abofo ma ye ba be ya ye hwe ani mu se by 3 months time no omo betimi abi no ma hand over to the municipality.
Honorable Faustila Vapia wiye and was Srama Penny so Srana or Bossy in a rose so on Shensesi and Fa Emma Womo.
Tamuapai or was a yapai from Kunka Junction, a Besima Woolly, and yet what the transfer and also Nina, and yet your Mantamu Pine, Nina, when they go Mampany train in Kunka Junction, who do I want to hear the face of Obuasi. Who better finding out to Betima take it drive by 1 hour, and some of the for what they are, but today be able to not traffic. It's the 20 years from Mampany, one can and measure of Boasia Pine, and in the inner rules, what they call a friend is saying from 9 miles. Junction Pande Panamas to Datono roads, meaning I don't find any big push on for Boasing Kaimo, now on for Boasing Camo, 80 million in that roads, and so now more of Boasing Fan and Timber. At the end of the day, I had a first coming in Ife and told me a more measure. Now, 80 million Paya, no Boasing Fan and Timber.
Honorable Faustila Vapia wano ene yo Boise West MC in your so they are the to Ghana Mampenny anymore.
Ya talk as about so na ya ra and some fufro him. State Housing Company Limited, so area to just almost befrasie esimo my Ghana Hanumina will be a do mokabia. Womo baba jiju womo sikom cheso musika ndi bebrebe million no bebre ne shemwa chese amount for enchia ye na managing director at the State Housing Company Limited you John Bauer what I didn't say we to dwa watches eneya no mufra sekra jiji wo musika ebeto mo akwa kusi afi awie ye mo hwe ne mu se afi be kɔ na awie ye na cheso musika dodo no a o metimi agigi.
Number of clients still owe the company various forms of payment, running up into the hundreds of millions of Ghana cedis. Some of these include ground rent payments, land regularization fees, lease renewals, consents, and various service charges. Today's Ghana requires sustainable financing models to keep housing delivery going. The State Housing Company Limited, though owned by the government of Ghana, is not a subvented company. What this means is that all of our operations are funded wholly by the money we generate through our operation. So today I am pleased to officially announce that we're embarking on a revenue mobilization campaign. It will run from today, November 3rd, to December 31st, 2025. And what we are offering is a 15% discount on all outstanding fees and obligations owed by our clients if they settle their debts in full during this period.
Alright, John Bawa, Essanso eto asese omo yo adwuma ye se de be ya ankrankran so ani ebeje ho yentie ne so.
State Housing, being a non-subvented agency, has been constrained over the years in terms of the scale of the housing that we're able to deliver in Ghana, because we have to rely on deposits from customers in order to continue our housing development. It limits how many units we've been able to do and how quickly we've been able to do this. So one of the things that the new administration has been doing is structuring ourselves to be able to attract a heavier participation from
Managing Director at the State Housing Company Limited, John Bauer.
Yakwa MPP amanyokuo nim na amanyokuo no ad hoc committee na omo ababonti omo kasa say nim say die ranum no mo matwe omo ti omo pe so omo kura franka de ma amanyokuo no eja obia na ma obo ntoa to ne sem de ma asi ahene for delegates wo MPP amanyokuo nim so mbetie na edru ho mato aba no de amomo na Other committee the abeto dwa se omahu se enkofo bi namo ya na kasa twetwere doso obi kogira na otu kika no yonko to ahodo omaso ba bete fom tie ni nyina wo bia wo campaign mu hweso nkaka wani so de hunu na abekwa akogina campaign na se wo pese otu frank ama MPP na abekwa kaka se twetwere na so bekwa ko didi oba akwata mo ho no o ma fra committee nanim na de wo bia o mo ne wo aka honorable Asante Boateng wano oye MP the ma Asante Achem South wa mo so ma frɛ no ni nyina ne se eja Asante akotena radio so akodidi nkoma akobo Dr. Alhaji Mamudu Bawumia aka ne Frank Ekurafo afi wo se pebio makura sa dan ya Dr. Bawumia kra de oye alien next wo de wo free planet earth yiso wo nyedi po fra sase so en wo sa kra ehokwo e wo MPP amanyokuo nim panyifo ichesa sa asem no Asante Boateng kan no ma frɛ no oba animu anu abeyi anu so alien na baby kro no kwafa ani free yard ne ba planet earth so a oba pie Ghana a oba MPP amanyokuo nim no no ma ba kire omo na chairman edema MPP ad hoc committee Dr. Akwasi Abiase entie no.
How can you say that somebody who has been vice president on the country for 8 years, I think we have to call him to face one of the things that we didn't want to do was to go to the street. But obviously, such a person needs to be called, change the full council of elders. If he hasn't got elders in the town, we have elders in the party. And we surely recommend for him to recall. Of course, we have the disciplinary committee in the party, and they are now up and doing it. We are trying to bring sanity into the utterances of Lambert. But what is even worrying is the so-called supporting.
Nice, Dr. Akwasi Abiase was said your home, 1%. Frank Crowdy Brady Betram Baby. Now, for your form, one more to come one more Simon to Magufin Abonti and Unti, and Master Region Mokasa, Eddie Etiano, and an ad hoc committee, MPP Amanyokuo no, your chairman was swa. At a say or say, or mobile from Nabo Asante Boateng. Now, but because Dr. Bawumia or a stranger and alien.
Yeah, somewhere so na nyumere nsam hodo some for falasa na koja body ma ye no ye de ni nyina esimu na se wo modie ye de manu suma adwumafo nyina kwambe fori aboaje e wo ho madam ama se wan pafo na ne ebo a en ye reporters na so ye da wo no mo ase ayimira ye technician o chinchin from ma ye esi wo Double Fashion Center no DJ Bullet one chinchin from mani nyina e de asumye social media no aye Kelvin wono na social media no eso ayimira kenkan for ye me rantie ni aba ma